What's up, guys? Big Drew and me here for Titan Lifestyle.
That's right, guys. Titan Lifestyle back again. It's 4th of July weekend. I hope everybody has a great, safe weekend on July 4th. It's good to actually get out and, be around people. You know, the pandemic's kind of slowing down, so it's good that everyone's traveling again. Absolutely. Hotels are open again, the pools again, the parks are open again. It's going to be a great 4th.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's always a good time, on the 4th of July to get out there, especially 4th of July weekend, right? Because 4th of July is going to be this Sunday. So you have the whole weekend. You have tonight, you have tomorrow, and Sunday. Because a lot of places, they're not even going to work on the 5th on Monday. They're treating it like a holiday. I don't know why that is, but whatever. But the point is that getting out, getting active this year. Last year, everybody was dealing with COVID. A lot of states were locked down, couldn't get together with their family, their friends, enjoy, the beautiful outside. So yeah, it's always good. And those fireworks are always a blast.
Yeah, it's great to be back, and not only people just here in the States. I know people are traveling now. People can come in, people can go out now. So a lot of people are actually getting a chance to go home for the 4th. If they're not from this country, they actually get to go home when they were stuck before and this and that. So it's just good that everything's back open again. It seems like we're getting back to somewhat type of normalcy. We'll see how far it goes. But the mask thing is great. Not having to wear my mask with this beard going in and out of the grocery store or whatever is great. So
I know, man. Yeah. That was a big thing for a lot of people, man. A lot of people are still wearing these masks. I still see them walking down the street by themselves wearing masks. And to each their own, they can do whatever they need to do. But, it is what it is. So let's give some shout-outs today. I appreciate everybody joining in. Mike G, Johanna Stefano, what's going on? Victor Madrin. And I'll answer your question here in a second about that. Kim Haynes, what's going on? Jimenez, what's up? Demetrius, not a cares. Mark Thomas and Holden Outlaw, what's going on, bro? Travis Nichter, what's going on?
Shout out to Curtis Stapleton, Rat Pack.
Rat Pack in the house. Big security. If you guys are in Tampa or around the area, Rat Pack's your go-to. Good people all the way around, and they know what they're doing. All right, so I had a question on here real quick. We're Victor Medrin. So natural. So I don't know. Let's talk about this real quick.
What is natural?
What is natural? Do you read my mind, right?
What is natural?
This is so true. So what is natural, right? Now, is not taking any supplementation natural? Is taking supplementation natural? Where does it go? The boundaries of, let's say, testosterone. If you're within a normal level, is that natural? So, I mean, there's a lot of different things that play with this. I mean, a lot of people do a lot of different things, and I guess a lot of people have different definitions of natural. Yeah. So, it really doesn't matter anyway, I guess, to a certain degree, because what is natural? So, at that point, my natural could be different than his natural, and your natural could be different than both of our naturals. So, really, what is the definition of that?
I mean, obviously, I've even seen people go as far as to say drinking coffee is not natural because it's caffeine is giving you energy. But coffee's made from coffee, coffee beans, So it is natural. But I would assume, if it were me, I would say it's pretty much anything that you have to manufacture would be unnatural.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I take things and eat things that are manufactured, it's not grown in the field somewhere. Yeah. But if you were out in the jungle by yourself and you had to pick all your food, kill all your food, that's the only way I could see someone being 100% natural. Because even if you drink an energy drink or some Hercules or,
creatine,
even Tylenol, aspirin, I mean, that's not naturally.
Any medication.
Yeah, so I mean, pretty much anything that's not outside of a garden or woods, I would think anything in a can, is that natural? I mean,
foods, processed foods.
Yeah, right? Green beans in a can, that's not natural, man. It's loaded with sodium. It's been sitting in that water.
Preservatives all the way around, man.
And I know even for bodybuilding, to get into bodybuilding, a lot of the natural, quote unquote, natural bodybuilders, they just know how to beat the test. Yep. They'll take stuff the whole year, then stop 4 weeks out before, just enough for it to get out their system or do whatever the case may be. But I mean, even look at athletics. Even in professional athletics, a lot of these guys, they're not quote unquote natural,
right?
But they are not taking stuff on the banned list,
right?
There's a list for a reason, Of
course.
So, I don't think anybody, unless you're like a tribesman from the Discovery Channel, I don't think anybody is 100% natural.
I agree. I agree with that 110%. That pretty much hits it right on the nose. Anything that's processed, it's synthesized, whatever that may be, that's definitely unnatural because that didn't come from the earth and you didn't take it from the ground and put it in your mouth or whatever it may be.
Yeah, even a vitamin. A lot of these vitamins are the quote unquote natural based vitamins.
Yeah.
They have fillers in them that aren't vegetables.
Yeah.
So even if you take a vitamin, you're like, yeah, I'm all natural. I'm taking my vitamins. That vitamin is not 100% the substance. It's a filler. It's all kinds of junk in there. So even if you're eating green beans and tilapia every day and taking your vitamins, those vitamins aren't in like you said, they're not in the woods somewhere. You can't get those on your own.
Yes.
I don't think anybody's natural.
It's so true. It's so true. So that just is what it is, right? So Paul Smith Jr., what's going on? John, Lauren, Scott, Edison, Sue, Justin Caviar, what's going on? How you doing, bro? Jay Anthony, Charles Stevens, Ben Nossis. And Kim Haynes says, I'm not natural, I own it. So it is what it is, right? There's different things that, with definition of natural, and I think Drew's definition is right on the head. Like, hits it right on the head. So I think everybody's unnatural in a certain sort of way, I guess. Yeah. Especially those natural bodybuilders, like you said, dude. I know so many that claim the fame. And, I've never taken anything, and they've taken stuff all the way through it until they needed to, like a couple months, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Yeah. And at that point, then test. So I guess they're natural at that point, or maybe to a certain extent of not doing PEDs. But
I think a lot of guys, especially in bodybuilding, or women, and especially in bodybuilding, they want to not say that they're taking anything because they don't want it to discredit their hard work.
Of course.
If I'm going to the gym every single day, working out for an hour in the morning, going back at night, training and doing cardio for an hour, weighing on my meals, cooking on meals, this and that. They just see your physique and they say, oh my God, he's huge, he's ripped, he must be taking something. Yeah. But at the same time, they don't see all the work I'm putting in. So a lot of these big ripped up guys that are on all kinds of stuff say they're natural just because they don't want people to think they're not working hard. If that was the case, guys, if anyone could just take stuff and look like that, we'd all look the same.
Of course.
Everyone would look the same.
Of course.
Just, take whatever we could take, but
Yeah, I mean, listen, and it's quality over quantity. So at that point, I know a lot of people are doing, a lot of different things, and at that point, their physiques don't look that good. So,
like chemical, they look like a lab experiment.
For real, it really is. So at that point, you can be as natural as you possibly can. That means you growing your own stuff in the backyard, or slaughtering your own cows or chickens.
Right. Now, in terms of food, I will try to stay all natural. Of course. Like I'll try to have organic, non-GMO, no corn syrup, whatever. I'll try to have my food be as natural as I can. Yeah. But again, I'm not picking it. I'm not growing it myself and picking it. Even these vegetables are pumped up with stuff too, because
for sure.
I mean, people think they're pumping the chickens with steroids and all this stuff and hormones. They're doing the same stuff to the vegetables, guys.
Of course.
If you go to certain countries and you look at their strawberries and their apples and stuff, they look a little bit different than ours.
They're not as big as ours.
Yeah, they're not as big as ours. People are like, this apple's like the size of a softball, So, I mean,
all right, so big thumbs up. We appreciate you, Joe Murrah, Brian Warner, Renan, how you doing? And Kim Haynes for sure. All right, so let's get on to our first topic, all right? And that's usually the therapy of the week. So let's bang it off with Titan Complete, all right? So Titan Complete's an awesome signature Titan Medical Center injectable therapy. It's a blend of vitamins and amino acids, and at that point, it has a lot of different great things in it. They're going to get you a lot of different great results and make you feel better, and hopefully help you with muscle gain as far as lean muscle tissue, weight loss specifically, liver functions, nervous system, hair, skin, nails, energy, right? And you're going to get a lot of different things like MIC in there, B complex, B12, the 3 and only 3 branched chain amino acids, the essential amino acids. Well, they are part of the essential amino acids: leucine, isoleucine, and valine, and you're also going to get L-carnitine. Right. So, I mean, it's an awesome one. I take it every day. And at that point, I take it in the morning time, right when I get up, start hitting my body, getting it going. And at that point, I feel a lot better all the way through the day. It does help me with my immune system too as well. There are some things that will probably be a little bit better than that, but for daily go-to, as far as your vitamin amino acids, this is the one for sure.
Yeah, just like what I was saying before, I mean, it's perfect time to talking about vitamins because a lot of these capsules and these tablets, guys are taking 20, 30, 40 tablets a day. Oh, man. And all those fillers, they have kidney problems. And I've even seen cases where the kidney problems is not coming from the actual substance. It's becoming from all the fillers over years and years and years. Yeah. So again, if you're doing like a Titan Complete, it's almost similar. If you want to compare it to something on the shelf, because I know a lot of times people, they hear this stuff, they see the bottles, they're not really sure what it is. It's kind of similar to like a one a day. Right. A men's or women's one a day. Because just like John said, take one a day, keep the doctor away, help you from being sick. That's right. I've been taking one a day for 2 or 3 months now. Knock on wood, I haven't gotten sick. So again, it's going to strengthen your immune system. It's going to do pretty much, it has all all the vitamins that would be in your tablets and the carnitine and more. So it's not going to pass through your system. You're not going to have to worry about eating something that's going to affect the absorption. You're not going to have to worry about bloat, heartburn, indigestion, anything like that. So you could bang out 2 mLs and go straight to the gym instead of filling your stomach, like I said before, and having a bad workout.
Oh, that's the worst.
Titan Complete is a must for me. All year round for me is Titan Complete, ECA, and obviously my HRT. Those are things that I take all year round. The MKI, sometimes I won't take it, sometimes I won't. But those 3 is like every single day, all day, since I started with it.
It's a good one, man. And with this, another one, and this is just a real live example, right? So a lot of people are just carrying around a bottle all day, and they're drinking branched chain amino acids all day long because they want to keep it in their body, keep
the BCA breath,
right?
The BCA
and the
breath.
bloat, it's not. I don't know. It gets old after a while doing it. I've done it, so and I know a lot of people else have done it. And at that point, injecting the Titan Complete and getting your branch chains in the system the fastest way possible, except for IV, and the absorption rate, that's definitely the way to do it. So, Mark Thomas said he's 2 weeks into taking Titan Complete and loves it.
Nice.
That's awesome. So that is a common response. So I'm glad that you're loving it too. At that point, like I said, it's one of our signature Titan Medical Center therapies as far as injectable vitamin amino acid blends. Only we have that. That's our blend. So at that point, it's definitely going to get you guys a lot of different results, I guess, and what you're feeling during the day. But, it's going to help out in a major way. And like I said, you know what you're getting. It's coming from U.S. licensed pharmacies prescribed. And this is very easy to get to as well. All you have to do is fill out the new patient paperwork. You're going to see our medical provider. And if you're not in Tampa, you can see it via FaceTime or Skype using telemedicine. And at that point, order your therapy, and it comes right from the U.S. licensed pharmacy right to your doorstep. And nationwide, guys, except for Ohio and Idaho, you guys are good to go. All you guys have to do is call or text 727-389-3220, and you can take advantage of that therapy and a lot more.
Yeah, and also the blood work special.
Blood work
guys,
special.
Jump on that blood work. We need to jump on that blood work. It's July 4th. $130 for men. I think the women is $200.
Yep.
Which is real cheap, guys. Do a full panel. Check my bio, check my page. You can see the list of the full female panel, the full male panel.
Yep.
A lot of places do the bare minimum just so they can give you your stuff like they're required to. We go above and beyond. We do a full panel on men and women. We could also do individuals too. So if there's a specific thing you want to check for, we don't have to do the full thing. We could do one individual.
That's right.
But again, if you're going to pay, you might as well just get everything done.
That's right.
Just get everything done.
Let me tell you the reason why. So it's all right if you want to just check like a single test, right? Because we can easily do that. It's going to be the most expensive across the country, even for a single test. But if that single test comes back weird, let's say it's a free and total testosterone, you come back deficient, we're still going to need to send you back into the lab to get all the rest of the tests. So if you want to see the medical provider and you want to go through and get the treatment or therapies, then you're going to have to do that. Now with Titan Complete, you don't need blood work. With all the vitamin amino acids, you don't need blood work. The only things you guys need blood work for, and you guys really should check these things, is hormone replacement therapy, or if you're going to take advantage of IGF-1 therapy. Those are the only times you need blood work with us. Otherwise, you're going to fill out the new patient paperwork, and you're going to see the medical provider, and you're going to be on your way. All right. So what if you already have your own blood work? Okay, so no problem. So if you have your own blood work, right? It's got to be within at least 60 days. Okay, the last time you did blood work. And it's just got to be all the tests that we require. Now, if you have most of the blood work and you just need a couple of the different tests, that's easy to do too. We can set that up, just charge you for those basic tests, and then you'll have everything that we need, and you can see the medical provider, and you're on your way. If you have all the tests and within 60 days, you're ready to rock and roll. Fill out the new patient paperwork, call us, set up the consultation after we get it, and you'll be ready and set to go, and you can be on your way.
Yeah, it's that easy, guys.
It's that
People
simple.
always like they procrastinate. Once they do it, they're like, "Oh, I just called. It was so easy. I got set up."
It's so simple, guys.
It's real easy.
We try to make it the easiest way possible for people. We understand, time and time is valuable to everybody. So we want to make sure that we don't waste your time. We can take advantage of everything and get everything going for you as fast as possible. All right. So Alejandro, Praza, Mario, what's going on? Strength addicts in the house. What's bare minimum? Health should never go hand in hand, folks. So save money on, definitely. Save money on something worthwhile for sure. Susie Q, what's going on? So let's get into the topics, right?
Crazy ones.
Crazy topics. So do you want to start with we've got a couple that happened in Tampa here. The first one, I guess, let's start with a positive note. So this high school kid, 17 years old.
Yeah, Arian Knight, guy from Hillsborough High School, 17 years old. I saw him run, I'm big into track. Been watching track, ran track my whole life, so I'm huge into track. But Well, I haven't run track my whole life. When I was younger, I did. But I saw him compete. He was 17. He's only been running track for a couple years. He played football.
Crazy.
He played football at Hillsborough High School, which is in Tampa, Florida.
Yep.
It's a high school that produces a lot of good football players. A lot of good baseball players come from there. He's projected to go, top college. He'll probably go on to play in the NFL. His high school coach said, "Go out for track because you're fast," and his times were like unreal,
ridiculous,
like unreal, national level, professional times.
Right.
He actually quit. He actually turned pro at 16. He's 17 now. He actually turned pro at 16. I think he signed with Adidas.
Wow.
And he's shattered, like it wasn't even close. Shattered Usain Bolt's under 18 record.
Yes.
Usain Bolt ran a 20.3 or 20 point something like that.
Yep.
He ran 20.0 in the 200.
Yep.
And then he ran that was in the semis. Then he came back and ran a 19.8 200.
Wow.
If you guys are familiar with track, like that time would probably get maybe a bronze medal or a silver medal at the Olympics.
Yeah.
And this kid's in high school. He's only been running for 2 years. His times are getting faster and faster because he ran a 20.3 and now he's down to a 19.8, which is huge. So 0.5 seconds. If you guys aren't familiar, that's not like a step or two.
Right.
I mean, he was way out in front of
He's going to get stronger, right? Because you get that man strength as you get older. It's true. It's so true. It really is. I mean, as you get older, especially up to at least 21, you're going to keep developing. And as long as you're on track and doing what you're supposed to do, and this kid is, he's the youngest Olympian since 1964.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
And the guy, and I believe the guy that ran it back in '64, he was like I think he was a long distance runner or something. So he wasn't a sprinter. Yeah. To be that explosive at 17, I mean, he's running against guys that are old enough to be his dad. I mean, I know Justin Gatlin's like 39, I believe. So I mean, he's old enough. He's really you got a 17-year-old guy racing against a 39-year-old guy. Yeah. And Justin Gatlin still holds it down. He's one of the few guys after 35 that's still just as fast as he was when he was 19 at Tennessee.
Big shout out to Justin Gatlin.
Yeah, shout out to Justin Gatlin. But it's just crazy. I'm excited about it. I love track because it's all about measurements and time. Yep. Doesn't matter how big or small you are. Doesn't matter if it's in the 50s or now. I hope he goes on to the Olympics, and I want this kid to bring home a gold.
I do too, man. And he's a local kid too, right? So that's great for Tampa. It's great for him. And hopefully for his good career, man. And hopefully he has a long-lasting career and he's strong doing this. I mean, it's amazing at that age of what he's doing.
Yes.
So.
And the thing is when he broke Usain Bolt's record the first time he ran a 20.0, they didn't credit as a high school record because he's not in high school anymore.
Oh,
he's pro.
A
He's already a pro, so they can't count it. And then he went down even lower, 19.8. So this kid's in high school running a 19.8 200 and a 9.8 100.
Wow.
Which is like, I mean,
it's insane.
I love it. I love track. I love it. There's so much track stuff going on.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch the Olympics, but it's good to have a Tampa guy.
Absolutely representing big time. Yeah. And he deserves it. So let's talk about the next one. And this one kind of hits home on me. I don't like this because I grew up in Chicago during this era. So Scottie Pippen has been coming out and he's been saying a lot of different things about a lot of different people. Well, this time he's throwing Phil Jackson underneath the bus as a racist and Michael Jordan as selfish. So I was reading up on this, and I've seen this and read this through a lot of different articles. It's basically the exact same thing, right? So Scottie Pippen, if you were following him during the career of what was going on, he's basically taken a second step to Michael Jordan through the career. Well, Michael Jordan left for a couple of years. He went to go play baseball, wasn't too good at it. But during that time, right, Scottie Pippen was supposed to be the leader of the team. Well, Tony Kukoc came along, and at that point, the first year when Jordan was gone, and at that point, there was some friction, I guess, because Scottie Pippen was supposed to be the team leader, and in one game in the playoffs versus the Knicks, to win the game, Tony Kukoc got the ball. Well, Scottie Pippen said that Phil Jackson's a racist because of this, and he didn't have any other examples that he gave. This was the main example.
Seems like Pippen's clout chasing.
Yeah.
Seems like why is he looking for all this attention right now?
I know.
Why even bring it up right now?
I just don't understand this. Listen, we all know that Scottie Pippen, even if you were a big Bulls fan back then, he did some different things to sabotage or tried to sabotage the Bulls. One, he didn't go back in the game. Once he knew that Tony Kukoc was getting the last second shot, he didn't go in the game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right? That's one thing. The second thing was that, when Scottie Pippen hurt his leg, right, at the end of I can't remember the exact season it was, but basically at the end of the season, he could have got surgery on his leg. What happened was he waited all summer and then had surgery at the beginning of the season, so he was sitting out. If anything, this guy's pretty selfish for what he's doing here. Now, another thing about Scottie Pippen, if you don't know, is Scottie Pippen signed a horrible contract in his last contract for a long extended period of time. If you watch a documentary about the Bulls and everything like that, you'll see in there how they talk about some of these different things. So it was a great series too. So if you have not seen The Last Dance, I strongly urge you to check it out. It's really, really cool. But, Jordan basically being selfish, I mean, he said that during the huddles, we used to see the camera in the huddles and you see these guys talking and stuff. Well, he said that some of these things were set up. And when he gave Kerr the ball for the winning shot on that, he said, listen, if they dump down on me, I'm going to throw you the ball to Steve Kerr. Pippen didn't like this either and basically said that, Jordan basically treated like his team. Well, I think it was his team.
I don't know what Pippen's problem. What is he looking to get out of all this? What is he looking to get out of it?
I mean, once you start calling, that's one thing I think that we have an issue with right now, and I think it's the worst possible crime that you could be. It's a racist.
Yeah.
And when we start just throwing this out there for things like this could be damaging to somebody's life, their kids, their family, their legacy. So, listen, if Phil Jackson was such a racist, this guy took a lot of different black players to the championship and winning these rings. Not just in Chicago.
I can't see Phil Jackson being racist. I used to watch Scottie Pippen and Jordan. I used to watch all of them too. I used to like Pippen, the way he played and everything.
I think Pippen was a hell of a player.
But now I don't know.
I don't like the.
I need to hear more before I can. Right now, I'm not even looking at Phil Jackson like he's a racist. It's like, oh, what's wrong? I'm looking at Scottie Pippen like, why is he doing all this?
How many years?
If something surfaces up and it comes out true, then I'll apologize.
Yeah.
I'll be like, damn, that's crazy. I didn't think Phil Jackson was like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think he is. And I want to know what Scottie Pippen is trying to get out of all this. What is he trying to get out of it?
I don't know.
I don't even know what he does anymore. I don't know if he's into broadcasting. I don't know what he's doing.
He's really not doing anything. I know his wife or his ex-wife, is basically like going around sleeping with all the NBA players and celebrities and throwing it in his face and going begging
maybe he's mad or something.
I would be hateful too, I guess, to a certain extent. But listen, the guy was a hell of a player, basketball player. I don't think the Bulls would have been as good without Scottie Pippen. He was the main player there, so they all played a role. But Jordan was the leader of that team. He definitely took it upon his shoulders. I don't know how many games and pulled it out. So, at that point, Phil Jackson, if he was a racist, you should have called this out. A long time ago. I think at this point in the game, it's kind of like you're going to lose credibility. Unless you have some real world examples. And like I said, it's crappy that people are throwing out a racist. If he was not a racist, if he is a racist, then I'll ultimately lose respect for Phil Jackson.
What I want to see is now that this is out, now that Pippen said this, is there going to be any other players that come forward and say yes he is, or no he's not? I want to know what Shaq's going to say about this.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Kobe. He's not around to explain it deeper, but I know Phil Jackson and Kobe I think they had a good relationship.
They had a great relationship.
I think he's had a good relationship with all his players.
Yeah.
From what I've seen on TV, but then again, we just see what they want us to see on TV.
This is true.
So
this is true.
Hopefully nothing comes out about it that he is.
Yep.
And I want hopefully figure out why Scottie Pippen is just doing all this stuff. Why is he saying all this stuff?
It's kind of crazy. So if you guys are Bull fans, you guys know it's kind of crazy stuff. All right, so let's talk about the next one. All right, so the next one's kind of crazy. If you guys have ever taken a DNA test, like ancestry or whatever it is out there, there's all these DNA testing that you basically, you get a home kit, you prick your finger, you put some blood in this kit, and you send it back, and then they do a whole background on your DNA and tell you where you're from and what race or nationality you are. So this guy from Tampa.
Oh, it was Tampa. I didn't know it was Tampa. Wow.
Tampa. God, we're on the map here. So this guy from Tampa decides, oh, you know what, I'm going to do this ancestry test, and he gets a kit. He pricks his finger, puts the blood in there, sends the kit back. Well, when signing the terms and conditions, it basically says that law enforcement can use this or check on this blood, basically. So when they uploaded the DNA into their database, I guess it hit a match. And the match was a rape case that was 14 years prior. So this girl was basically walking home. She went to U of T. She was intoxicated. This guy came out and said, hey, listen, I'm going to walk you home. Walked her home, and then that's supposedly when the rape went down. So it's just really nuts, and this is kind of a crazy thing, right? Because this guy was willing, sent this blood in, not thinking that, he's going to be a match on, this DNA here. And it's really like a gray area, I think, because yeah, we can catch people that have committed crimes, right? But we're solely relying on this DNA testing to really tell you who the criminal is. Not the criminal and then, hey, listen, we're going to do DNA too. We've already caught you on some of the different things.
Yeah, I think it's weird. I think there's a lot of people going to hear about this and not do it because if they have a bad past or maybe they did something too. But it's just crazy. Like technology is just so crazy now. Like,
For sure.
I mean, even with the whole Bill Cosby thing. Bill Cosby's out now.
Bill Cosby's out.
Bill Cosby's out because of a technicality. So I mean.
Yeah, and in that technicality, a former prosecutor said that he couldn't be charged with the crime that they charged him with and went to jail. That's what happened.
Yeah, so because of that little technicality, whatever, now he's out.
Yep, and they had DNA on his ass too.
Yeah, but the thing that's crazy too is think about the 60 women or whatever it was that came forward and said he did that. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. This is weird.
It's crazy,
really, really weird.
And Bill Cosby, what happened was it went to an appeals court. They said everything was good with the case. Then it went to the higher court after that, and then those are the guys that overturned it in Pennsylvania. So Bill Cosby's out, 85 years old, I believe, or somewhere in that 80s bracket.
But it's kind of like that DNA thing. I mean, there's I don't know.
Yeah.
It could work good, and it could also work bad. What if there was a glitch in the DNA thing? They took your DNA, and they did a mix-up, and then now you're in prison for a amount of time, and then they find out the real DNA, then they take you out, and it's just...
Yeah. Well, those people do get out. So people have, thank God it's worked in the opposite way too, where people have been jailed and they didn't commit the crime, and a DNA later on with the way the technology is running cleared them of that, and they got out of jail 25 years later, some of them 15 years later. And those people are suing the system basically, and they are winning some lawsuits, but what's your time worth? What's 10, 15 years of your life, maybe 20 years of your life.
When you get up there. Bill Cosby, what, 80?
80s. I think he's 85 or somewhere in there. So, I mean, he's old. He only got a couple more years.
He was that old.
Yeah, he's old, man. This guy was he was a staple to Americana.
Yeah, he was like everyone's living room.
Everyone's living room.
For like
black,
20,
white,
30
wherever
years.
you were watching the Cosby Show. And Dr. Cosby. I mean,
and even like the fashions. I remember all the fashions I used to get from like Theo and all his friends. I had the little rat tail. I had the rat tail. I had a flat top, and then I had the rat tail on the back with one bead on the end of it.
We gotta do a graphic.
Because I saw Theo with the rat tail. He had one. His boy had one, and I was like,
it's like coming to America.
Around that time period, people growing up little rat tails.
Yeah.
So I literally had a fade.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
right
there it is.
That's exactly what I had. I had the flat top with the rat tail. Mine wasn't that long though. Mine was like a little short one.
This is crazy.
The Gordon Gartrell.
Yeah. Oh, I remember
the Gordon Gartrell shirts. Yeah, a lot of good stuff.
So next one, some flying cars.
Yeah, George Jefferson is really happening. I mean, they're gonna have air control. Next thing you know, everything's gonna be in the air.
Yep.
The travel's all gonna be in the air.
Yep.
And they should probably just get rid of roads too if they're gonna make everything in the air.
For sure, definitely, man.
I mean, I'm surprised. How long is it gonna be before everyone has it though? That's the thing. I mean,
soon. I mean, this one did a 35-minute flight, so at that point, I mean, it's looking like it's
now once it hits the
that's
ground, do the wings come in? You could drive it like a regular car, or is it strictly air? Because if it's strictly air, I think it's just the airplane.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think it stays like that. You can't really.
I don't think they're gonna take the wings.
So it's basically
back.
an airplane.
Yeah, pretty much. But it should have to pick you up though.
This part right here comes off.
It might, but man, putting that back on would be a pain in the ass.
You need like a giant jacket.
It would have to fold in for it to really work like a car, because it could.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so it does.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Nice.
I wonder if it's electrical. I'll be push a button, everything folds in. But
I don't know.
Yeah, otherwise it would just be an airplane. But that's gonna be crazy. You start seeing cars flying around.
Hoverboards.
What kind of fuel they're gonna use and what kind of.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Air speeders.
It's got a 160 horsepower BMW engine.
Wow.
That's all it needs.
That's crazy. That's nothing. That's really nothing. So yeah, man, it's gonna be futuristic. We're finally gonna get flying cars and hoverboards. We've been promised this for years.
2,400 pound capacity.
See, you could fit like maybe 3 Drews in there.
I'm not 800. I'm not 800. Wow. I wonder who's gonna start making them if they're in the big companies, Chevy, Ford, BMW.
Oh, I'm sure, dude.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna pick them up.
Wow.
See them flying around places.
It's crazy, guys.
Now the thing with this is if people do start having a lot of air travel and people are driving their cars, like say 2 out of every 5 households has these. if they crash, and then now they're going to be falling.
Right.
So it's not just the two people that are impacted. Then they're going to have to worry about cars falling from the sky, landing on people.
Yeah.
It's going to be fly zones. And it's going to be weird. If you're flying above the water and you get an accident. Wow. I mean, it's going to be a lot of stuff going on. But I like how it folds up like that.
That's neat.
Cool. Wow.
That's really neat. Dang.
That's cool. That's way
Now,
cool.
do you need a pilot license?
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
Gotta have a pilot license for that.
Even on these new hoverboards, yeah.
The only thing I don't like about it is the car is so big.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a plane in back and a car in the front.
We can't have it all.
Like, how are you gonna park that thing or drive it through downtown or anything like
have
that?
a big truck, maybe.
It looks nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at the inside.
Yeah,
looks nice.
That's
You've
cool.
seen those giant Rams, 15, 2500s, and
Yeah.
huge diesel
Yeah.
Maxes.
Yeah.
This is smaller than that.
I wonder how long it's gonna take before we actually see one,
We're seeing one right now. Hopefully we see them in the States. This is in Europe right now.
and the price on them. What is the
Check out
price
some
gonna
comments,
be?
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Okay, we went down, apparently.
All right. No problem. All right, guys. So now we're going to sum it up. We're going to go outside and try to get some sun here in Florida before it starts raining. Or maybe hopefully it won't start raining. So we're praying for that. So, guys, we got some great events coming up. I want you guys to go to social media and check all those out. We've got Tampa Pro coming up. Olympia's coming up. St.Pete Fashion Show is coming up. Now in that order. Florida State.
Florida State.
Yeah, the Florida State.
I believe it's August 14th, I believe.
Yeah, that's
Orlando
right.
at the Rosen.
Yeah,
He's
it's
back at the Rosen, back with Deke.
Yeah, Deke. Yeah, another one in Orlando
Yeah.
for sure. We're gonna see Orlando a lot this year.
Yeah.
We usually do, but it's gonna be another big one, especially for Olympia. That's gonna be off the hook. Tampa Bay Jeep Fest. That's gonna be big. NPC Hurricane Bay. That'll be here in Clearwater, Atlantic Coast. We're a big number on that ticket. And Cars to Couture in November. So we've got a packed schedule, and we got way more stuff going on. So we're gonna be adding to the schedule here soon. I know we got a couple more events we're gonna be adding in. So guys, keep it locked to our social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, our YouTube page. Search up Titan Medical Center. Hit the all notification bell after you subscribe. And then at that point, I think we got some other stuff, right?
That's pretty much it, guys. Make sure you also check out the podcast.
Yes, sir. That's what I was waiting
podcast.
for.
You guys got to check out the podcast. Just like we were talking about all the driving and stuff and this and that, you don't want to get in an accident. So if you're driving, you can listen to a podcast. Yeah. And once you get home, you could just flip it to the actual YouTube or Facebook and Instagram, and you could actually watch us.
Dude.
But the podcast, just on any iPhone, if you go to the podcast, the purple icon, click that, type in Titan Medical. Or if you don't have an iPhone, just Google search Titan Medical Podcast, and it'll pop up. You can watch all the shows. You can watch this show, the past shows. And again, you don't have to stare at us. If we're too ugly to stare at,
That's
you can
right.
just listen to us
That's
while you're
right.
driving, listen to us while you're cleaning, but we pretty much get us whenever you want.
We're going to entertain you and inform you. You know what's funny is I've been working out over in Crunch now, over in Channel Side for like the last week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of people come up to me. And someone came up to me and say, man, I listen to you guys on the podcast. I'm driving.
Nice. Well, if you guys are listening right now,
awesome.
shout out.
Yeah,
Come by the
big
office.
shout out.
Come by the office and get a t-shirt.
Yep. Say you listen to the podcast, and we'll give you a free T-shirt. All right, guys. So I'm John.
I'm Drew.
And we'll see you next week for another Titan Lifestyle with Big Drew.
Have a great weekend. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th, guys.